All hear me? Jordan's got us. Okay. Since Jordan gave us the thumbs up, we'll start with Jordan and then go to Jack.
Mike, it doesn't seem like a coincidence that Silas and Blue have really turned it on here lately, and the whole offense has kind of taken a step forward. What are you seeing from those guys, and how it's helped you guys as an entire offense?
It's helped us immensely. Confidence spreads. It just doesn't when you got a guy or two or three that step up um, with confidence, with an ability to go create their own shot. Or confidence also is shown at times with certain players that just get other guys shots. That just play downhill and have success as a playmaker. But those guys are making shots. It spreads. They're playing with swagger. Overall, the skill development of our team through a lot of hard work has just gotten better. I mean, we come on the road and have 10 turnovers as opposed to some of these games early on when it was hovering around 20 and even mid 20s in a couple of those games. It's just been our Achilles heel. And so when you go on the road and you have 10 turnovers, it just gives you a chance just to set your defense, to attack the offensive glass. And when you come down, if you've got 20 turnovers in this game, you're almost playing with a conscience offensively. You're playing on your heels. I hope I don't turn the ball over. And so some of it is them making shots, but some of it is the fact that they're making shots because we're getting shots because we're not throwing it to the other team. We just made a big jump in that category. We're doing a little bit more off the ball than we were, but for the most part, I just think it's just collectively these guys have bought into making simple plays, hitting singles, passing it better, holding seals better, playing off of 2 feet, all the little things that lead to value in the basketball at a higher rate in this league.
I want to ask you really quickly, looking at South Carolina, that's a team that lost its first 13 SEC games. They won again today, won two of their last three. Can you just talk about the job that Lamont has done and that team and sticking together after that rough start?
Yeah, phenomenal. I mean, former coach of the year. Um, yeah, they continue to battle. I mean, the score today was it speaks to the work that they've put in and the advantage that they have at home and the way that they're playing currently. And it starts with CMB, of course, and his teammates do a good job of allowing him to be the focal point and playing around him. They run good actions. They guard the crap out of you. They're really solid and physical. Um, it's another tough test, extremely difficult place to play in on the road in the SEC. South Carolina is no different.
Mike Silas has been an offensive leader for, I guess a while now at Georgia, but kind of playing out of his mind the last 3 weeks. What have you seen different from him, whether it be practice, I guess, approach?
Honestly, it's there hasn't been a drastic change with him. There really hasn't. It's just I think a lot of it is just the organic maturation of a true sophomore midway through that sophomore year where his team's asking him to be a little bit more aggressive, especially with our turnover problems, him gaining confidence, having a little bit more success over time, and just building off of it. And I was telling Scott in the pregame, and Silas proved me right. And I'm glad I didn't need to have to eat my words, but the cool thing with him, it's somewhat unique, but it's not. There are other guys that do it, but you also see the other side of it where he's starting to score more, he's getting more shots. His usage rate has increased. Well, now I'm just not going to quite be the same hard playing, defending, rebounding guard. He's the same exact player. He's just taking a few more shots a game and he's shooting it at a high clip right now. We hope that continues, but he's going to continue to see high level defenses.
Go to Jed May and then to Hank Tatum.
Yeah, Mike, y'all led by 17 at halftime, and then the first 7, 8 minutes of that half, you stretched it out to as much as 27. What I guess allowed you guys tonight to not only keep Texas at arm's length, but really grow that lead, and eventually be able to hang on through the rest of the second half.
You got a few stops there in the second half, but they were playing downhill and with confidence. And Kaluma hit some threes, and um, Pope was a handful there in transition a couple times. Kent hits a couple threes. It was probably more offense for us than defense. Getting some extra possessions in the offensive glass. Again, just valuing the ball at a high rate. A couple late clock fouls that we drew, converted at the foul line. Got to continue to convert at a higher level there. and a couple late clock shots, namely a couple by Silas, kept them at arm's length.
Coach Trey Johnson put up 39 on Wednesday night. Tonight, you hold up to 12 points on 7 shots. What allowed your team to just excel and kind of stopping him from getting shots up and getting good looks?
If he had 12 the other night, he might have had 39 tonight. The whole country watched that one, and he's a phenomenal talent. And they run a lot of actions for him, and his teammates know how talented he is, obviously. Our attention to detail with the defensive scout was on point. I thought collectively we did a really good job. Blue was on him a lot. Other guards were too. Blue as much as anyone, but at the same time, the screens off of the ball, our bigs did a good job. The screens on the ball that they set for him, our bigs did a good job. It's probably as good as our bigs collectively have done to help us on the perimeter defensively.
And we'll finish with Graham Coffee. Go ahead, Graham.
Sorry, get unmuted here. I'm curious, Mike, like for you guys, you get that win over Florida on Tuesday. You come on the road tonight and get your first conference road win of the season. Do you think those two things are related, the confidence that you guys were able to play with tonight from the start?
From strictly a confidence standpoint, probably some relation there. That said, though, after a big emotional win, and it was an emotional win because we found ourselves up 26 and then we're down late game, right? I think the bigger fear as a staff is you go into the next one overly comfortable and feeling a little bit too good about yourself. And that was far from who we were. And again, this team is really, really young. And so the mindset that we had was much needed. It was appropriate, and it's respected by us, as a staff, by myself, of course. We were locked in. And after a big win like that, for a team that's searching, especially for a road win in the SEC, there was no difference in our approach, leading into this one with shoot around with the practices. We were good. I mean, that's about as well as we've played.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Congrats on the win.